can start lying on your back in Shavasana. Let's begin by dropping into stillness. So make any little shifts, adjustments that you need to, that you want to, and then drop into stillness. In stillness, noticing the movement of your breath. And for a lot of us, committing to stillness can be extremely challenging, uncomfortable. So if you're able to, rather than responding to those little kind of internal urges to move or scratch an itch, just notice the impulse to move, just like you would notice, a bird in the sky or something, and just watch that impulse, feel the impulse, but don't respond. And just notice what arises from that little experiment. If that's happening for you, maybe not. Maybe you're super content not moving a muscle. But if you feel like, come on, let's get going, or it's just uncomfortable being still, notice how kind of your energy field changes when you just let that impulse move through you without responding. Let's just lie here for very few brief moments more and really attune to your breath breathing you, sensing yourself being breathed rather than doing the breathing. So acknowledging the physical body and yoking to becoming more aware of the breath body, pranamaya kosha. From here, we'll plant the feet to begin our movement inquiry. Feet about hip width apart. Interlace your hands behind your head, the bottom of the skull. Feel your feet meeting the floor, each toe, inner, outer edges of the feet. And just while you're here, before you do anything at all, notice the little space between your lower back and the floor. If there isn't one, try scooting the feet a little further away from the sitting bones so that the lower back isn't flat into the ground. And then this is kind of a small little subtle move here, but see if you can kind of scoot your upper spine a little further away from your lower spine. If that doesn't make sense, you don't know how to do it, don't worry about it. It's not any kind of big technique or anything here. And then we're still just here. Arms are heavy, elbows are heavy, connecting through the feet into the floor, maintaining that little neutral, that little gap, your lumbar curve. And then without moving the pelvis at all, well, it'll be a little downward move, but it's not a tilt. Try to press the sacrum straight down into the ground. So nobody probably would see it if they were watching, but you should be able to feel this straight down rooting of the sacrum. You still have that little gap, your lumbar curve, little gap between the lower spine and the floor. So press sacrum down and just notice what's happening. Like maybe the pelvic floor has come to life, maybe the abdominals have engaged, maybe not. Just notice anything else that might have shifted with this simple rooting of the sacrum. And then from here, we're going to keep that little gap, keep your lumbar curve. We're going to curl up. So when we curl up, it's more about lifting the shoulder blades off the floor and not pressing the lower spine into the floor. Different approach. It's not wrong the way we normally do it. It's just different. Inhale down, exhale, keep the lumbar curve, press the sacrum down, and squeeze your elbows together when you come up. Try that a few more times. Full breath in, long breath out, feet are evenly grounded, sacrum is rooting, lumbar curve is intact. See how much you can peel the shoulder blades up off the ground. The last one. And then the next time the head comes down, open arms out to a T. We'll keep the left foot planted, straighten the right leg on the ground. Unwinding, rock to the inner edge of your left foot. Reach the left knee toward the right foot. So it's coming across the midline to the right, but it's also reaching away from you. And then back to center, foot is grounded, knee points up. Repeating, let's flow in and out here, left shoulder staying down. You can even actively pin it down. As you reach the knee away from you, squeeze your left glute. And push the inner edge of the foot into the ground. One more time. And then once you're back to center, keep the left foot planted, right leg is straight. Interlace your hands underneath your head. Head is heavy, arms are heavy. This is our side bend. We call it the side scrub. So we'll slide the left elbow down toward the left hip. Right elbow reaches kind of overhead. Let's do that on the inhale, and then exhale, slide back to center. Repeat. Try not to lift the head and then move it. Just slide and stay heavy. Reintroducing the unwinding movement. So as you side bend to the left, reach the left knee away from you, squeeze the glute, push the inner edge of the foot into the ground. Could do all that on the inhale or the exhale, or just let the breath have its own rhythm. And I like to do it on the inhale so I can breathe into the right side that's opening. Couple more times on this side. Once you're back to center, open arms out to a T. Let's straighten the left leg and plant the right foot. Rock to the inner edge of the right foot and pushing the inner edge of the foot into the ground. And then back to center. Reaching the knee away from you, squeeze the right glute. And go slow. Keep the right shoulder down. Once more. And keep your right foot planted, left leg straight. Interlace hands behind the head. Let the elbows drop. Let the arms be heavy. Let the head be heavy. Side bend to the right now. Left elbow reaches overhead. Right elbow slides down toward right foot. And then back to center. Slide and glide. Don't lift and shift. Might be a nice idea to pause just briefly at the end range. When you're ready, you can add the unwinding movement back in. Push the inner edge of the foot into the ground. Reach through the knee. So getting really contracted, engaged on the right side and elongated on the left side. At the end of this one, whenever it is for you, come back to center. Let's straighten both legs. Bring your arms down by your sides. Go right into stillness. So no technique. The technique is just to stop. Stop and be. Okay, from here, bring your left arm up alongside your ear. Left arm alongside the ear, plant the right foot, and then roll onto your left side. So left arm is a pillow, right foot's planted behind the left leg, and then take hold of your right wrist with your left hand. Tug on the wrist a little bit and stretch the knee in the opposite direction. See if you can let your bottom, the left side of the rib cage, drop down a little bit. Head is heavy. You can even try angling the right knee a little back behind you so it reaches away and draws back. And then see if you can bring the front of the rib cage back toward the back body. Release the wrist. Feel free to bend the bottom elbow or even prop up head on hand if you'd rather. I think a little better to have the head down. Actually, yeah, let's not prop up on the hand, but if you want, you can bend the elbow if that's a better setup for head support. Right hand out in front of you on the floor. And then we're gonna keep drawing this right knee back, slide the right hand forward. So you might end up rolling head off of arm and kind of coming onto the forehead a little bit. And then just slide the hand back. Maybe the head comes back onto the platform of the arm. That's not critical. Just let the head kind of go where it wants to go. But as you slide the right hand away from you, don't let the right knee drop in. So we're not rolling onto the belly, really committing to staying on the side. So simple movement here. Slide the right hand out in front of you and then back toward you. You can keep the arm straight the whole time. We're countering the reach with the knee back as the arm reaches forward. And then just slide, roll onto your back again, touch into Shavasana. Stretch the right arm alongside the ear. Plant the left foot and roll onto your right side. Bottom arm is a pillow. Take hold of the top wrist with the bottom hand. Tug a little bit. Reach the knee toward the foot edge of your mat. Maybe draw the knee a little back behind you. And then some other refinements to explore are the right side body really dropping down. And the front of the rib cage drawing toward the back. Make sure your head's heavy and fully supported. Release the wrist. Left hand on the ground out in front of you, maybe bending right elbow if that's a better support for your head. Slide the left hand away from you, out in front of you. And then slide it back toward you. So we're rolling slightly onto the belly, but not really because we're drawing the left knee back as the hand slides forward. Just let the head be heavy here. It can roll on and off the platform of your arm potentially. Tracking sensation. I don't know about you, I'm feeling this in like a very different place than I normally feel really most any stretch, like different part of the waist. Inner thigh. A couple more times, noticing what you noticed. at the end of that one, whenever it is for you, roll onto your back again into Shavasana. Try not to do too much fixing or adjusting. Just drop into stillness. Connecting to the river of breath. Let's plant both feet. Place left ankle on right thigh in a figure 4 shape. Keep the right foot on the ground for now. Bring your left hand somewhere on your left leg where you can get kind of a good grip or ability to push the leg away. Let's be here for a few breaths, like you're nudging the thigh bone a little out of the hip socket. Not really, but might feel that way. Release the hands, but keep that sense that the left knee, left thigh moves away from you, and bring the legs in. So right foot leaves the ground. You can hold right shin or right thigh with your interlaced fingers. Some of you might be able to press the left leg away with your left elbow, but the left leg could do it on its own too. Breath is in the foreground of awareness. Keep the legs in this shape, but bring the foot back down to the ground. Open the arms out to a T. And tick-tock the legs side to side. So we still have the figure 4 when the legs drop to the left thigh gets close to or touches the ground. And when the legs drop to the right, the left foot might reach the ground. Go slow, keep the shoulders down. Don't force or push to get the legs down to the ground. Just see where they're willing and ready to go. And then the next time the legs drop to the right, if it works, get your left foot down to the ground. If it's too far away, put something under your foot so it's attached to something. So left foot on either the floor or maybe a block. And then let's use the right hand on the left thigh. Just nudge that left leg away again, like we did a moment ago. And stretch your left arm alongside your ear. So the right hand can keep helping, or the leg can do it on its own, and you can just release the right arm down. Really reach through this left arm. If you're getting shoulder pinchiness, take the arm out wider rather than directly alongside the ear. Slide the left arm back to the T. Keep the figure 4 shape. Bring the legs up and now over to the left. And you can use this left foot ankle area to gently nudge the right leg, not just down, but like down and away. So like that right knee can move away from you a little bit. Right arm alongside the ear. You can even push the inner edge of the right foot into the ground and right knee moving away from you, just like we did earlier. reach through right arm. Breathe into the back, breathe into the right side. Slide right arm back to the T. Bring the legs up through center. Left foot on the ground. Right ankle on left thigh. So this whole little figure four sequence, second side. So first we keep the left foot down, right hand to the right thigh. Nudge the thigh bone away from the hip socket. Maintaining that action of leg moving away, bring the legs in. Interlace the hands around the shin or the thigh of the left leg. Perhaps right elbow nudges the right leg away. Release left foot back to the ground. We still have figure four, arms out to a T. Shoulders stay down. Tick tock the legs side to side. Right knee still moving away from you. Next time the legs drop over to the left, pause. If the right foot doesn't make it to the ground, put a block underneath the foot so it has something to connect to. Right knee moving away from you. Right arm alongside the ear. You can use your left hand. I don't think we did it on the first side, but if you want that little extra nudge, left hand can kind of press into the right thigh. Breathing into right side. Reach through right arm. Slide right arm back to the T. Slowly, carefully, bring the legs up and over to the right. So now that right foot, ankle-ish, really more the ankle, can press the left thigh down a little bit, but also away, left knee moving away from you. So right foot can help, left leg can do it on its own. You can push the inner edge of the left foot into the ground and left arm reaching alongside the ear. Back body breathing. Side body breathing. Slide left arm to the T. Bring the legs back to center. Plant the right foot. Feet wider than hips. Windshield wiper knees side to side. Fully letting go of that outer leg. So it'll come all the way down to the ground most likely. And be a little more active with the inner leg, same action. We've been working, push the inner edge of the foot into the ground, reach the knee away, squeeze the glute. Come back to center. Bring the knees in toward the chest. You can use your arms to help hug in if you like. Working that deep flexion in the hips. If you've got hold of the legs, release your hands. Legs are airborne. We're coming into a cross-legged shape. So we cross at the shins. See if you can reach for your feet. Align your feet with your knees as best you can, rather than crossing at the ankles. Flex your feet. Draw your elbows down toward the ground. Keep hold of your feet if you're able to, and straighten the legs just about halfway up toward the ceiling. Make it more about your breath. Notice which leg is on top. Uncross. Bring the knees back into the chest. Cross at the shins the other way. Grab hold of your feet if you're able. Feet in line with and close to knees is what we're potentially working toward. Draw your elbows down toward the ground. Feet are flexed. Straighten the legs up toward the ceiling, just about halfway to straight. Release all together into Shavasana. Drop. Be the witness. From here, bend your knees, roll to your side. If you have a bolster, grab the bolster. You could use a couple of hopefully firmer pillows instead. One or two firm pillows if you don't have a bolster. For child's pose. So head and arms on the bolster. Big toes touch. So often when we do child's pose with the bolster, we have the whole torso supported, but instead, just forehead and arms. You could have elbows bent and forearms on, or you could have entire arms. See what you can make happen. See what works for you. Let's breathe here, breathing into the back especially. Okay, keep your arms really heavy here and your head too. Let's try to roll to sit on the heels. So the head will come up last. Arms are dangling. Start at the base of your spine. See if you can articulate through each vertebra until you're sitting on your heels. Beautiful. And then we're going to come to sit. You can scoot the bolster aside. And we'll sit in what I call pinwheel. So right leg is like this Baddha Konasana, tree pose shape, and left leg like this Virasana, hero's pose shape. So this back foot is tucked in next to the hip. And the front foot is pretty much connected, left foot pretty much connected to right thigh. I'll mirror. Maybe that'll be easier. If this isn't quite working for you, I would sit up onto a bolster or a block. That'll make life easier. And if this knee, this back leg is just really miserable, you could have the legs straight out in front instead. Okay, and we're orienting over the left knee and folding forward. Gently rise up. Other side. So now your right leg is in this tree pose shape, left leg in hero's pose shape, aligning pretty much sternum with knee and folding forward. Root to rise. Come back to the first side. So your left leg is in front. We're going to open this into a 90-90 shape. So slide your right knee back until it aligns with your right hip. Kind of kick your foot out so the ankle aligns with the knee. So the knee is bent, the back knee is bent at 90 degrees. We have a 90-degree angle between the front thigh and the back thigh. And the front leg is also bent at 90 degrees. Okay, so ankle in line with knee, knee in line with hip, hip in line with knee, knee in line with ankle. Orienting out over this front left leg. I'm mirroring, so torso, or excuse me, sternum in line with the left knee. Okay, and then just start to press your front lower leg down. So from the left knee all the way to the left foot, press down. Hands can be on the ground. If you can do it hands-free, try for that. If you need hand support, that's okay too. So we're gonna actually, for just a moment, bring one hand to the back of your head, the back skull. Slightly tuck the chin and press the head back into the hand. We're gonna keep let's, if we can, keep the hand on the head and find a pure hip hinge. So the head is staying pressing back into the hand. I'm not rounding or arching the spine at all. And then push the front lower leg into the ground to come up. So see if you can keep that muscle memory of where the head is, particularly if you need your hands to help you come up. Hinging from the hips. The head is not dropping at all, it's staying in line with the spine. And then as much as you can, come up by rooting the front lower leg down. Try that a couple more times. Pure hip hinge. That's it. The last one on this side. Once you're up, switch over to the other side to be able to kind of just flip the legs. And then make sure you still have 90-90 shape. So just to review, because people miss this a lot, both knees, each knee is bent at 90 degrees, and there's a 90-degree angle between the thighs. So usually like the foot is in a little bit, or this back knee is in too much. Orient your sternum over your front knee or right knee. Just for a moment, bring one hand to the back of your skull, slightly tuck the chin, press the back of the hand, press into the hand with the back skull. So the head's going to stay right there, and it's just a hip hinge. Torso, head, just going along for the ride. We kind of skipped that first rooting, but you get the idea. So the whole front lower leg roots down to bring you back up. And you can use your hands to press yourself up if you need to. So try not to wave through the spine, just the way we're doing it today. Deepening the hip crease to come forward, and then press the lower leg from the knee all the way down to the foot to come up. One more time. And then from here, lean back onto your hands and windshield wiper the knees side to side a few times. Try to make it really intentional, like you're moving through something really thick, so you've got resistance rather than just flippity floppity. Okay, and then if you've got a blanket on your mat, let's remove it. If you've been working on carpet, grab your mat. Do a little bit of standing work. Starting with downward facing dog. Hands are rooted evenly, especially the bases of the index fingers and the root of your thumbs. Press down and press the floor away wholeheartedly with both hands. Imagine you could screw your hands into the ground away from each other. So hands kind of rotating outward without actually moving. Take small little steps to bring the feet forward. And then from here, rising to stand in mountain pose. Okay, you might want both of your blocks here. Take a wide-legged forward fold and support the head. Aligning the feet evenly. When you're ready, hinge at the hips, fold forward, find the block setting where you can put basically like your hairline on the block and the back of the neck elongating. Feel each toe on the mat. Brush your spine with breath. Lift just about halfway, so straighter arms, hands beneath the shoulders, chest moving forward, gaze still down. From here, take your left hand behind your right arm, see if you can reach over to your right ankle. If that's too far away, just find higher up on the leg. And then walk your right hand out in front of you. Readjust where the block is so you can rest the left side of your head, like temple area, on the block. Maybe blocks, maybe it's plural, 2 blocks. Back body breathing. Slide the right hand back so it's about under the shoulder. Both hands underneath the shoulders, coming back to center. And then right hand goes behind the left arm, over to the left ankle. You might scoot the feet a little closer in if you're close to getting the ankle, or just have the hand higher up the leg. You can adjust the block so that it's there for the right side of your head, temple area, and stretch the left arm forward out in front of you. Slide left hand under left shoulder, right hand under right shoulder. And then let's heel toe the feet in till they're under the frame, under your frame, and carefully rise all the way up. And release your arms down through this ocean of energy. Okay, we're going to take a wide stance again. Let's turn the right toes out. Might have your block handy. You can do a little warrior two and a little side angle. So you have your block to the inside or to the outside of your front foot, your right foot. Okay. So before we come into either shape, imagine you could drag your feet in toward each other and wrinkle the mat between them. So it's like this isometric inward action, and engage your back glute. So squeeze, squeeze, left glute. See if you can keep those two actions as we start to move here. So you can stretch arms out and bend the front knee, warrior two. And then bring the hand down. You can bring forearm to thigh if you want, palm facing up, left arm stretching up toward the ceiling. Gaze down here. Rise up, straighten the leg for a moment, hug the feet in, engage back glute, bend the knee, warrior two. Crazy arm shadow here. Keep the bend in the knee, either forearm to the thigh with the palm up or hand to the block. Top arm stretching straight up, gaze down. One more time, rising up, straighten the front leg, arms out to the T, bend the front knee, feet hugging in toward each other, back glute active, squeezing. Either forearm to thigh or hand to the block, maybe this time arm alongside the ear, still gaze down toward the ceiling, toward the floor. Push the floor away to rise. You could take your block with you. We'll pivot the feet for the second side. Left toes turn to point forward toward the short edge of your mat. Block either in or outside the front foot. Imagine you could wrinkle your mat between your 2 feet. Feel what that creates engagement-wise. Squeeze your back glute. So right glute fired up. Arms out to the T. Bend the front knee to warrior two. And then either forearm to thigh with palm up or hand to the block. Top arm stretching up. Gaze is down. Rising up, you can straighten the front leg for a moment. Hug the feet in, squeeze the back glute, bend the front knee. Forearm to thigh or hand to the block. Arm up, gaze down. One more time, rising up. Warrior two, hug the feet in, squeeze the back glute. Forearm to thigh or hand to block, maybe arm alongside the ear this time. Gaze down. Root to rise. Drop the arms. Heel toe your feet in so they're under your frame. Let's come to the top of the mat in mountain pose. Connect to your breath. Bring one hand to the back of your skull. Slightly tuck the chin and then press the back skull into the hand. So oftentimes when I say head back, people lift their chin and tilt back. So it's just a straight back The hand provides a little bit of resistance. From here, we're going to come into chair pose. Keep the hand, let's bring the other hand to the sacrum. Okay, and then we keep this line of energy from the sacrum to the back skull. Bend the knees, hips go back and down into chair, Utkatasana. Keep the head right where it is. Stretch the arms forward and reach them forward. Feel the shoulder blades sliding away from the spine. Hands touch down, walk back, downward facing dog. Lower your knees down to the ground. We're headed for a side plank, but don't just rush into it. Let's hone in on a couple of things first. So we're going to keep the right hand down first. Push the floor away with the right hand and imagine you could dial the hand outward. So it's that screwing the hand into the ground outward. Okay, and then keep this right leg where it is. See if you can keep the right foot where it is rather than swinging the foot back. Keep it right where it is. You can tuck the toes under. We're stretching left leg straight back. You can root the whole sole or the outer edge of the foot. So this bottom knee is underneath the hip, and we're really in this line. The hand, the knee, the hip, and both feet. Keep screwing that hand into the ground and see if you can get your shoulder blade to move down your back and into your back, and then maybe stretch the top arm up. Bring your gaze back down to the ground. Make sure your shoulder's directly over your wrist. Try squeezing your glute muscles, especially the right one. Last couple breaths. See if you can continue to spin the heart up toward the ceiling. Gaze staying down. We have a little counter rotation there. Beautiful. And then bring the left hand down. Push the floor away with the left hand. Make sure all the knuckles are rooted. We're dialing the hand outward, but it's not actually moving, right? So it's like you're screwing the hand into the ground. Pushing the floor away. Left toes are tucked. Stretch the right leg back. Reaffirm or just check in. Hand in line with knee, in line with hip, in line with feet. See if you can bring that left shoulder blade down the back and in, like it could pop out through your chest. Arm reaching up, right arm reaching up, gaze turning down. Squeeze your glute muscles, butt engaged. That supports the back, that supports everything. It's the biggest muscle in your body. While you're looking down, you can check in and make sure your shoulders stacked with your wrist. Maybe turning the heart a little more up toward the ceiling. Bring the hand back down. You can press back into child's pose or downward facing dog. If you're in child's, you might just rise up to touchdown dog. We'll walk the feet forward, coming back up to stand in mountain pose. Okay, just a couple more standing asana. Let's have the blocks at the front of the mat. We'll start with pyramid pose with the left foot forward. Left foot between the blocks, right foot stepped back. Sizable step, nothing too crazy, but not too short either. Drag your front foot back, drag your back foot forward. Again, that's the gripping into the floor action. It'll start to scissor and square the hips. Yeah, even that swing of the arms and sensing what's happening in the hips can be helpful. Okay, from here, reach the arms forward and then keep reaching them as they rise up alongside the ears. Keep scissoring your hips with a foot action into the floor. Front foot back, back foot forward, and then hips back. Reach, reach, reach forward. And bring your hands down. So you don't have to be in your deepest expression just yet. I recommend not, in fact. And let's bring one hand to the back skull. Slightly tuck the chin. Press the head lightly into the hand. The hand's resisting. The head is staying there. So when you fold deeper, it's not I rounded my back and dropped my head. It's I hinged at the hips to bring my belly closer to my thighs. You can keep your hand there for feedback if you're not sure. Keep scissoring the hips through the feet. And then when you reach your end range, maybe you let the head go. Maybe not. So if you know you've got forward head posture that's getting worse, then maybe you don't let the head drop. So you work the strength of the neck instead. Feel free to bend that knee. Keep the feet where they are as you rise up. Coming right into revolved triangle from here. So keep that action, front foot back, back foot forward to keep the hips square. Okay, now we stretch the right arm up toward the ceiling. And then hinge just halfway. Gaze should be down, chin should be tucked, back of the head a little bit pressing up toward the ceiling. Spine stays parallel to the floor. Right hand comes down to the outside of the left foot if possible. Use a block if you have to round your spine to get your hand to the floor. Hug your hips inward toward each other. So inner thighs hug in toward each other. And then not from the hips. If you wanted, you could put a block on your sacrum for a little feedback. So the hips aren't moving. A spinal twist comes from the spine. So rotate through the spine, not through the hips. And maybe extend through your left arm. Let's keep the gaze down. Unwind your spine. If you've got a block on your sacrum, take it off. And let's step the back foot forward and rise to stand. Tuck inside. Right foot between the blocks. Left foot back. Not too short. Not too long. Want to have the back heel down. Front foot drags back. Back foot drags forward to scissor the hips. Reach the arms forward first, and then really reach forward. And arms continue to rise up alongside the ears. Hinge at the hips, hips drive back, chest comes forward, hands down to the blocks. Don't go all the way right away. Reaffirm what's happening in your feet and thus your hips. Bring one hand to the back skull. Slightly tuck the chin and then press the head back into the hand. You can keep it there if you feel like you need the extra feedback. It can be useful. And then fold more if you want, just from deepening the hip hinge. This is a slow process to the end range, ideally, not a boom, I'm there. Keep that action happening in the feet. Front foot drags back, back foot drags forward. And then maybe you keep that sacrum skull alignment. If you feel like you've got forward head posture that won't go away, I would do that. Breathing here. Feel free to bend the front knee in order to rise up, keeping the feet where they are, and then straighten the front leg again. Front foot drags back, back foot drags forward, so hips are square for a revolved triangle. Stretch left arm up toward the ceiling. You could bring right hand to back skull, tuck the chin, press the head back a little bit, hinge at the hips. We're just going halfway, spine parallel to the floor, and then hand coming down, probably to a block. Okay, the head isn't dropping. We're still working that action in our feet. I keep saying it, I'm probably like tired of hearing me, but we often like have it for a moment and then we lose it. Okay, and then, oh, maybe we put one block on the sacrum. Hips aren't moving, it's a spinal twist. That means just the spine is twisting, rotating. We're twisting to the right. Maybe stretching up through the right arm. Let's keep the gaze down. Unwind your spine. Remove the block on your sacrum. Step your back foot forward. Let's come into a wide Uttanasana. So feet maybe shoulder width apart, maybe mat width apart at most, I would say, unless you have a huge frame. Feel free to bend the knees here and also to support the head. So you have to fiddle with the blocks. So the back of the neck is elongated and it's pretty much the hairline for most of us that will connect to the blocks. Long, slow breaths here. Okay, let's bend the knees more, like quite a bit. Let your arms dangle, let your head dangle. Bring your awareness to the very base of your spine. We're going to roll up. That invitation is to roll up and to go slow so you can really articulate and visualize one vertebra at a time. Once you're standing upright, just pause, be with your breath. Beautiful. Okay, let's have a seat. Let's sit in Dandasana, so legs are extended out in front. Feet could be together, feet could be hip width, feet could be as wide as the mat, not wider unless you've got a massive frame. Okay, you could be sitting on the edge of a blanket here. So if you're tipped back, then I strongly recommend that. We want the pelvis to be neutral. Let's bring the hands to the ground alongside the hips and lift up through the side body a little bit more as you snug the shoulder blades down the back. Okay, you could stay right here, or one hand to the back skull, tuck the chin a little bit, press the head back into the hand. Again, we're going to hinge from the hips, so we're not going to round the back at all, not going to drop the head. So it's a pure hip hinge to fold forward. My chin just popped up, so really keep on it. Yeah, the body will drift back into its habits if we're not attentive. Okay, and then when you reach your end range, you can take your hand off of your head, but let's just stay here with this long line of energy rather than rounding or dropping the head. Legs root down, feet are flexed. Might feel like more work. That's not a bad thing. Gently rise up. Bring your hands behind you, shoulder width or a little bit wider. Try to have your fingers pointing forward. Spread your fingers, root through each knuckle. So you might have to lean back a little bit to get that. Shoulders down, chest up. Here too, you can get a little, you might see what it feels like to get that dialing outward action in your hands. Maybe you plant your feet hip width apart and press feet and hands down and lift the hips up. Chin still slightly tucked. Please don't drop your head. Push the floor away with your hands, with your feet. Squeeze your glutes. Ease the sitting bones back down to the ground. If you have a bolster, we'll use it for supported bridge. If you don't, you can use a block. If you're using a block, lie down first. If you're using a bolster, place the bolster first. It's usually easier than sliding a big bolster. So bolster is lengthwise in about the middle of your mat. We're sitting on the bolster. And then lying back. Adjust so your pelvis is on the bolster, but not your lower back. Or if you're working with a block, lie on your back, plant your feet, lift your hips, and then put your block under your sacrum. So if there's a variation that your body's calling out for, you can go into that. But see if you can choose a shape and relax into it. Let's plant the feet, lift the hips. You can remove the block or slide the bolster down. And make your way into Shavasana. And try to make all your adjustments. And then drop into stillness. So nothing needs to happen for the next few minutes. Just rest. And come back into the river of breath. And bring your awareness back into your physical form. And if you're ready, slowly and gently make your way up to a seat. And you might chant with me, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Take a breath in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you. Namaste.